Hello, good morning. I'm here to present the first panel, and hopefully we'll have some further answers that Neil was raising as sort of important questions, including the question around imagination and how we rethink the city. I want to thank Anne and Nato and Sally and Laura for putting this together, and the entire Creative Time team for doing this again for the 5th year. I'm not going to introduce each of our speakers because you have it in the program, but I do want to set it up a little bit and say that creative placemaking has been described, and I'm paraphrasing the National Endowment for the Arts here, as a private-public partnership that uses the inspiration of art to strategically shape and animate the spatial and social character of a given neighborhood, town, region, city, etc. But as we know, it's emerged as a policy, as a way of thinking, at a moment of intensified political and economic crisis. We are 5 years from the global financial meltdown, and yet 25 million Americans still cannot find full-time work. 600,000 people experience homelessness at any given night in the United States, and here in New York City, over 100,000 men, women, and children sleep in the municipal shelters on any given night. That is, by the way, 61% higher than it was when Mayor Bloomberg came into office, in a city that's epically divided now between the haves and the have-nots, thanks to waves of gentrification. But back in 2009, as the crisis was unfolding, there was a grassroots event in Baltimore, which was really quite exciting, called the City from Below. And I just want to read a couple of lines from their mission statement. The City from Below said, "The bursting of the housing bubble and the domino effect bringing down banks and insurance companies is just a symptom of the real crisis, an economy of privatization and dispossession, undemocratic to the core, which puts the markets and profits first and the real needs of people a distant second." So as we set up the next series of speakers, the question might be, when we talk about making place as a way to counteract this historical crisis that we're in, we have to admit that the terms like creativity and imagination and vibrancy are pretty broad, and I say that as an artist, and can be used for both positive, socially inclusive ends, as well as for the politics of belonging and disbelonging, as one of our speakers, Roberto Bedoya, has called it. So it seems to me that we need to not only ask how and why creative placemaking might come to the rescue, and we certainly need a rescue, but for whom and by whom and to what end does it seek to address the precarious conditions, the dispossession and the redundancy that face us as the vast majority, the 99%. And with that very brief micro introduction, I would like to present Jennene Whitfield of the Detroit Heidelberg Project. Thank you.